Today is another new day, just like yesterday and the day before. But today, we're headed on a recovery again. So we're headed up to recover King Fred. Now, before you chastise us and write a comment about how, oh, stupid amateurs, you guys suck, just know that we could not have guessed that the water pump was gonna fail at exactly the top of the mountain, right where we were headed to go get the Can-Am. Now, as you guys saw in the last video, the Can-Am got its steering put back together, had a broken axle. I did not think that thing was coming out of the top of Hanging Tree.
This was supposed to be a day of fun and trail riding, and Robby ruined it by breaking his steering box.
By the grace
A three-wheel drive,
it limped itself out. The trekker even went down in and got most of the way up. Now, King Fred did recover the trekker. So technically it was a really good day. We've got supplies. The guys have rounded up all the tools. We've got a pack out full of Milwaukee tools and our Milwaukee pack outs that we're taking with. They're really heavy. So I wanted you guys to watch Hillbilly struggle a little bit carrying stuff. So we'll get that out to the trekker. Steve's gonna be taking the Razor and we're gonna be headed back up on the West Mountain to go fix it. We gotta put a water pump in. Should be a good day to go recover ourselves.
I've never done a water pump on top of a mountain. I've done a clutch pan on top of a mountain and a Dodge.
It's the absolute most ideal place to change a water pump. So we have a list, a checklist. We need a water pump.
We got two of them.
We got two just in case. We got a hose for water pump, two housing.
Got it.
Hose clamps.
Got 'em.
Gasket maker, RTV.
Got him.
Coolant.
Got 'em.
Battery tie down.
Got it.
Tools.
Got him.
All right.
Wait. You missed one. What's the very bottom one?
No.
Oh, gasoline. We need gasoline. Let's go.
We'll make Steve follow behind, so if it busts out my window and falls out, Steve can pick it up.
All right, so we're headed back up to get Fred. On the last video, we came down Dry Canyon. It's a different way out than we normally go, but I'll tell you what, it's the better option. This is a smooth road all the way to the top. There's no deep ruts, there's no rocks, just smooth sailing. So we will most likely come back out this way today with Fred. It's a county maintained road all the way to the top, so it's pretty good. We got Steve and the boss with me in Grandpa Dale's Razor. We've got Hillbilly and Colton back in the trekker following us. Luckily, we've got our spare gas can in the back seat strapped in.
Trying to remember how to get there. This is my first time ever being on this road, going up to the top of Hanging Tree where King Fred is. And Robby being Robby, Mr. Leadfoot, he's way ahead of us. I hope I remember how to get there. If not, we'll be lost.
We'll find it. We'll find out.
We came to a fork in the road. Hillbilly doesn't know the way. I don't think he's super good with like directions. So we're gonna go ahead and wait. We can hear him coming. He'll be here in a second and then we'll continue on. But we just don't want to get lost from him.
If you listen closely, maybe you can hear him.
It's funny because it sounds so like rah, and it's so gutless.
Here it comes.
Look who decided to wait for us. I'm wondering where Robby is taking us because we was never on this road.
Like a horse trail.
So I was like, are we on the right road? Steve was like, are we on the right road? And Robby was like, yeah, don't you guys remember anything?
Yeah, I remember all the tires, but we're close. We should have.
There, we should have went just a little bit farther.
We need to be there, and we're here. I should have tracked our way out yesterday.
Hey, Robby,
We gotta be close.
I remember if you're gonna follow me.
Perfect.
See what he does.
Perfect. I'm pretty good with directions, and I got us lost. So let's see where Hillbilly gets us taken to.
Good thing we have Onyx.
So we came onto a dead end. Hillbilly.
Well, first off, none of us remembered to download the offline map for Onyx. We were in such a hurry to get up here so we can get King Fred fixed. And Robby turned the right direction, just on the wrong turn. So now we had to backtrack back to the main road and go a little bit further, then turn.
Let's just see if he knows where he's going.
Well, he took us back to the fork in the road.
Yes, bro.
And he took the other way.
Now he's just guessing, and he'll probably get it right, and then we'll never hear the end of it.
So you know where we're going.
Yeah, because I can see the tire tracks from yesterday.
We on the right trail now?
Yes, we're on the right trail. Tire was like right back there.
So we've turned down some desolate road. I'm just crossing my fingers. But I think he's just gonna get lucky.
Whoa! So here's the real thing. If you guys have Onyx and you want to go on a trail, again, mark it so you know where you're going.
Exactly what we should have done. I just didn't think, well, I thought about it. I just didn't do it. And we could have followed our trail back in.
In the cities and towns and stuff, Robby knows directions a lot, like really well. He can be on that one road one time and remember every detail. I can't. Roads in the mountains and trails in the mountains, I can remember every detail. Maybe now on, I should be the leader when we're up here in the mountains and not Robby.
All right, there's a landmark. There's the tire. And then you can't go off the trail. Look at this. This used to be gated off, but there was a big old land dispute. I think the BLM made them open it as an access route. I love this drive though. There's trees and it's just super nice. It's unfortunate that the water pump had to go out at the top of the mountain, but way cooler up here than it is down in the city.
They still went out before you dropped in.
Yeah, you know, we must be living right. From the second we got to the top, and we didn't do any dumb stuff.
Literally, you think King Fred's still there waiting for us?
Get there and he's sitting on blocks like something that happens in like New York, California or something.
Yeah.
We'll find out here in a second. Remember, he's just around this next set of trees. There he is. We found him.
Looking good as ever.
And he's all in one piece. Thank goodness.
All right, so Hillbilly guided us in. He guided us in. Anyway, we got to where we needed to go. Fred didn't go anywhere. Still just chilling.
And complete.
Nobody stole the keys. Hillbilly insists on driving around our tow truck. So, no.
So we don't have to carry the tools like
Yeah.
10
So we
feet.
don't want to, yeah, we don't need to carry the tools 10 feet. He's going to go past the tow truck. So here we go. He says there's plenty of room. Why are you
You
giggling?
have a little faith.
I have that much faith in you right now.
I think you'll make it. Come on.
Woo! Good luck!
I don't need luck. This is a cakewalk.
It was right at about that moment that I watched Hillbilly pucker in his seat. Now he's got to come back through.
Wait, he's coming back?
Gotta put the tools right here. Hey, the tools have to be right here. Funny thing is once he gets here, we're backing the tow truck up, so we're in the shade. Hey.
We could have had all the tools out and over here by the time he gets done.
Yeah, I fully agree. You know what? What's Jackrabbit wants, Jackrabbit gets.
Yeah, I told you there's plenty of room.
Now that you got the toolbox where you want it, I gotta move the truck. I don't work well in the sun, so we needed to move into the shade. So we got coolant leaking. Let's get a catch pan on that right now. So here is the toolbox. We're gonna get all our tools out and get set up, and we're gonna change a water pump. So for those of you that skipped ahead and didn't realize it, we took this on a recovery and ended up recovering it. So here we are fixing it on the top of the West Mountains in beautiful Sanpete County. Is that heavy?
It's not the lightest.
Hey, look, it's a good seat.
For me.
So he sent us with these. So there's two different water pumps for two different, more or less, years. The only thing that's different is the size of the fan bolt paddle. That one's small, that one's big.
So this one is the one that we're gonna use because this truck was built in 7 of 92. And up until February of 92 is that water pump. And from February on is this one. Hopefully we got the right stuff.
And then he sent us with these, battery tie down, but he sent us with 2 extras so if these ones ain't long enough.
Perfect. We should be taken care of at the top of this mountain. We have,
It's not just a jump, skip away.
we have our entire toolbox.
And first aid kit.
We're ready to roll. I got mini crescent wrenches for each hand.
Can you run both of them at the same time?
Yeah.
On 2 different bolts.
No, not that neat. Oh, well,
That was you.
that was me. Hey, what? We need a new one anyways. We can still use it today. We brought mail. We even brought packages to the top of the mountain. We might as well put the new pulley on.
Hopefully it's the same size though.
Well, it better be. Look at that pure power. USA. Dang.
Oh, pretty.
The only difference,
Count the ribs.
one extra ribbing. We even got our new belt, so we can take our custom belt back off. But look at this. Look at that. Look at it.
Hey, that looks like a lot of people's trucks nowadays.
It's like a yo-yo.
Well, that looks like a lot of people's trucks nowadays. All rim, no
Tires.
tire.
Yeah. Hillbilly don't like that.
No.
Since we're on the task of opening up mail, Hillbilly, this one's for you. They're both for Hillbilly. This one's from Santa, or Santee. Anyway, see what it is.
A new screwdriver. I can't read cursive.
So this person's had the screwdriver for over 20 years and they've never used it. So they gave it to Hillbilly to use.
Going more likely to get used today.
20-year-old screwdriver, brand new. That's pretty cool. That's quite the sheath.
Say, what else is
It's a 2-in-1. The Lutz 2-in-1 from 20 years ago. That's kind of cool. Anyway.
Oh, knife sheath. This says Hillbilly. That's awesome.
So my buddy Jeremy Jones from Arizona, custom leather made Hillbilly a holster for his Milwaukee flip knife.
Is he a leather maker, like your brother's a wood maker?
He's a leather maker. So check this out. This is custom built to fit his Milwaukee knife. Kind of cool. So it goes on his belt and he can wear it and it's even on an angle. It has your pretty little name on it. Cool. So thank you guys. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Shanta or Shanti.
Thank you. It's very awesome.
Uh-oh. We might be in trouble before we even start.
Why?
Because
I just pulled the pitcock out of the radiator and let the fluid out, so we're
into a catch pan.
to the catch
Because we care about.
environmentally friendly.
Maybe this is why the fan hit the radiator and we just didn't realize it.
That's a very good possibility.
This fan barely fits to come out. So we've got to take every single accessory off of the front of this motor. So next we got to get the hydro pump off. Got to take the alternator back off. Got to take the AC pump off. Hillbilly's going to manually remove the belt. In your toolbox, make sure you put Hillbilly hands so you can get your belt off.
Uh-oh, you got too far.
Hydro pump, yep, just like that. Get it out of the way.
We're needing a new hose soon.
Yeah, it's getting old.
All weathered.
Really old. Oh man.
Their homemade bracket has come off.
Yeah, but we have to take that bolt out that, or do we?
There's one down here.
We gotta get that bolt that we couldn't get.
Well,
Remember?
we'll have to just remove the sear core hose. That was what I was fighting.
All right. Okay, so we're gonna work on that.
But actually, you might get this out of the way and you can get your insider in there.
This new insider's freaking sweet. So we should be able to pull this right out of the way. We'll hurry and disconnect that. We'll get the wiring harness out of the way. This little bad mamba jamba. I just feel like we're just doing things again.
Just tilt it backwards.
But I thought we gotta take that bracket off. Don't we? We're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole front of the motor's got to come off. All right, that big old bracket, take that off. It's like something we would build. That's nice. All right, we got the last bolt that tried to elude us. This is the bottom bolt to that. I'm putting it right here.
Don't spare block now.
Yeah, look, we got so much room. It's gonna fit perfect with a straight 6 BT Cummins. Okay, yep, ow, that hurt. All right, so Hillbilly's just gonna get the last 3 hose clamps off. We've got the upper hose off, there's a little one, and then one that goes down into the oil cooler. After that, that water pump, in theory, should come right off. We'll be able to start cleaning.
Depends on how much RTV they used if it comes right off.
No, I already saw it moved. So it should come out good. What a beautiful day to put a new water pump in Fred. And the saddest thing, Fred had to spend 24 hours on the mountain all alone in the frigid cold.
24 hours. Bronxstar spent 3 days. Or 4 days.
What a coincidence that 2 Fords had to stay the night on the mountain.
Got him! Got him!
You heard it right out of his mouth.
I'm just saying, I got nothing else to say. Did you want to do that, clamp?
Yeah. In the box is hose pick.
What are you looking for?
Screwdriver.
I grabbed 2 of them.
Scraper. You know what? The hose pick was mad at you and left. Okay. Hose pick is gone. All right, so this wasn't just an accident. This was a self-inflicted wound that I was unaware of.
No, they're the same.
No, they're not.
I'm measuring them.
So I was unaware that this spacer did not have the correct center outside or inside. So Hillbilly drilled it, which A+ for trying, but it is drilled too far this way versus that way. So that's gonna throw your fan balance off, which is gonna create a vibration, which is gonna in turn knock your bearings out of your water pump.
But that doesn't explain why the shaft's bent.
Well, when it's going mock Jesus and it's spinning. Okay, did you bring the old one?
No.
No way. You really didn't?
No.
Oh, I thought that's what was in that box.
Mm-mm.
Uh-oh.
And there, boys and girls, is a water pump. Getting all the old gasket off this plate before I pull the plate off, because then we have to do the other side too. Got one side cleaned up a little bit. Now I just gotta get the back side cleaned up.
You can see through the fans, there's daylight. Spacer totally knocked that out. All the balls from the bearing are gone.
So I don't think that's completely due to a out-of-line spacer.
No, I think it has to be.
Mm-mm.
Dude, it was fine the day before.
You think?
Yeah, like you said, it could have been going into the radiator.
You know what? I just can't be sure. All that I'm sure of is that
It's bad.
we're at the top of a mountain. We brought an entire shop full of tools, and we don't have a roll-lock disc on an electric grinder. So for the next 3 hours, we're gonna be scraping gaskets. I'm actually not gonna do any of that, but I'm gonna sit here, complain about it.
Scrape gasket.
Just scraping away.
You done?
Heck no.
So I'm removing the studs out of the water pump that holds the pulleys and the fan to the water pump.
I'm gonna get these gaskets out.
I like that knife of yours.
Pink. Don't lose it because
It's mine.
We're gonna get this all wiped down. Get as clean as we can get it. Here up on the mountain. We'll put some gasket maker on. Get this water separation plate back on and get this water pump on the truck. We'll be headed down the mountain later on. Oh, should I? Let's double check. Where's the fan? Let's just make sure that this is the correct one before I go scattering gasket maker all over everything.
To be honest with you, it looks like this one.
There it is.
Well, according to Mike's notes, it's supposed to be that one.
Well, it's a good thing we're about to check, huh?
I don't look like it.
So, friends, I was just about to install what we were told to be the correct water pump. Yeah, no, that other one. Ha! That's it. There's our little ticket. All right, folks, what have we learned here today? Double and triple check everything because,
And make sure you grab 2 different water pumps.
yeah, we'd have been up Rat Creek without a paddle. So I'm gonna get this one cleaned up, and then I'm gonna goop it full of gasket maker, and we're gonna hope for the best. Don't judge me, it'll work. All right, so what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna gasket maker the outside gasket to this, and then I'll flip it. Actually, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'll put it on. That'll be easier. Trying to do things efficient. Nobody likes to be efficient. Sounds G-O-O-D to me. I should be a master at finger painting.
Why aren't you?
Well, no, I am. There should be like a merit badge for it, and I would get it. All right, this is ready to go back on.
What?
This is ready to reinstall. Has 4 layers of gasket maker, and it's got a plate. Billy, it's all you.
Why aren't you sealed?
Because it's got a freaking, it's a banana seal. You guys didn't keep track of where the bolts go?
Yeah, they're in groups.
You
Water
and him
pump.
took them out, so we just set them where.
Billy, you only got one chance. One opportunity. Somebody's welded those up. Or am I losing my mind?
You're losing your mind.
Am I losing my mind? Because look,
right here.
give me a second.
You notice they're stamped to be drilled, just never been drilled.
Why don't you bring a drill?
Yeah. No.
Okay, timeout. Gosh! Darn it!
Is it thicker? I might have washers.
Do you have 1,000 of them?
Maybe.
I highly doubt it. How does this happen? All right, we're in a serious dilemma right now. We have a bolt bin with 20 million bolts at the shop.
And none up here that'll work.
Bring me those big humongous nuts of yours. Bruh. Okay, let's see if that will space it enough. Are we missing bolts somewhere?
No, that's a lot thicker.
That is so much thicker. thicker than a Snicker. All right, so here's the dilemma we're having. The new water pump, the old one is thicker. Look at how thin that is, the housing. And it's just the bolt, it's just where the bolts mount. See, look, we're that much too short. From right there to here. And we have to use that water pump because it has the correct bolt pattern for this pulley assembly right here.
I have a handful of big nuts.
But look, legitimately, I'm not even above it. Oh,
Told you I have a handful of big nuts.
so luckily the Trekker is probably the most prepared thing that we brought with us.
My uncle has those and a bunch of other bolts inside of a
And I'll bet you he
jug. He probably goes on there somewhere.
he waited his whole life for you to use these. And we are prouder than we can even express right now that we get to use them. All right, so we are very, very unconventionally installing a water pump. Luckily, the Jackrabbit had like 20 big nuts just chilling in there. So we used them all as spacers because the bolts, I don't understand why, but the aftermarket housing of the new water pump, the bosses for the bolts that they go through were shorter. So every single bolt was too long. Well, we've got it on, it's tight. It may not last very long, but it might. If it stays good, we won't have to change it till we put a 12 valve in this. So it might just work out forever.
Not forever, because eventually I'll need my nuts back.
I have a bolt gun, so. Anyway, we don't have any Teflon, so we're using gasket maker as a thread lock. Everything's different about this new water pump. Perfect. Okay. We're gonna get the accessory drives put back on, still crossing our fingers that it all works.
And it's not spaced out too far, and the bolts end up hitting.
Those are the same. I looked. It's all the other bolt holes. The bosses are cut down. They've been machined too far down. So all the accessory drives should, in theory, work. So that's what we're gonna work on next.
AC pump and power steering pump bracket. Bolting it to the block. The most important bracket of all.
Actually, that one's not important. That one won't strand us. We can literally leave that off and still get home.
It's still important.
Put the new pulley on.
Build that sucker full of dirt. Ready to rock and roll. All right, so we're gonna put this spacer on, but just with no fan. The reason for that is because we got a little bit of an off-center issue. Our fan is not slotted. So I'm not ruling it out, but the way that spacer was drilled may not have, if taken to trial and trial by jury, they probably would not find Hillbilly guilty of ruining the water pump. So that means we're gonna put a fan on. But I'm gonna bolt these up just so that, that's what happens when you have epiphanies on the mountain. This is hot. So my first hypothesis was that the fan spacer was making the fan do this. But there's no way, because the fan doesn't have slotted holes. So the fan cannot be bolted on like this. Fan can only be bolted on. Perfect.
Last stud. After fighting it for 10 minutes, it's in place. For some reason, the tensioner pulley is not wanting to move. I think it was out of its groove because it popped as soon as I moved it. Oh, hey, Robby.
What are you doing? We thought Robby went to go to the bathroom. He's taking a nap.
Taking a timeout.
Time for the alternator to go on. And then after that is the hydraulic pump. Then after that is coolant. And then after that, we put the fan on. And then after that, we start it. The new belt. Doesn't that look like a hat? Last bolt for the alternator, and it's done. Then we can do the fan. Push it on. Ready? And it's just the top that falls. Just finish tightening up these bolts. Now the last puzzle piece to the front of this motor, hydraulic pump. And then we can start filling it full of coolant and get off this mountain. That was close. I was more worried about breaking my teeth.
You were just talking about that on the way up here.
Yeah, that I broke them once from an incident similar to that. Had hot flashes.
Figured while we were at it, we'd get this battery tied down.
J-hook it out. Battery is expertly installed. How do we get ever so lucky for it to be the right length? Now, is it the right fitting, Chuck? Ha! This right here is how you vacuum or how you fill the coolant to get rid of air bubble issues, which air bubbles cause overheating. They're hard to get rid of. This prevents air bubbles. I gotta start the trekker to get air going.
So we've got it down to 20 pounds of vacuum, and it is holding.
You have entered the chat.
That was never gone. It's probably the coolest tool in the world. Check this out. It literally just sucks the coolant out.
Well, that looks pretty
You
good.
think we need more? So this just takes and sucks the coolant all the way into the back of the block, all the way into the heater core. Everywhere that air is trapped, it takes the air out. Okay, now we wait. You can see that hose just goes flat. Once it fills up, it expands. We'll get it ready to where we can start it, make sure there's no leaks. Even though that gasket maker is supposed to sit for 24 hours, we ain't got 24 hours because it is already 4 o'clock. We've been up here since 6:30 this morning. Ready? I think we're good. We're gonna shut it off, check for leaks. Not that it matters if it's leaking because we're driving it off the mountain, but I think we're good. And all those spacers get to live here rent-free the rest of their lives. I think we're good. Good enough for me.
Fan
Good
shroud?
enough for Ford. We'll get the fan shroud put in and we'll be off like a herd of turtles. Luckily, we made this quick connect. It's a two-piece style shroud. Oh, look at that. From all our leaning. This is why you carry these. Probably not the best thing to use, but it's what we're using. Okay. So I won't crank this down until I get the other side of the shroud on. All right, we're gonna check to see if this is gonna hit real quick. Well, if it is, too bad. I'm gonna call that a successful repair job.
Can't say successful. We're not back to the shop yet.
At this point, we'll jump it off a cliff if we have to. We've got our area cleaned back up. We like the environment. We care about it, so we've picked up all our trash. We've left no footprint. We're gonna take that and put it in the razor, and we're headed back down the canyon before it's even dark. Look, we're on a roll. We're getting back before things get dark. All right, we've had about as much fun as we can handle at the top of the mountain, so let's get back down Dry Canyon and go to the shop. What's going on?
You're leaking like a sieve.
What the heck?
I don't always come up that hill, and as soon as I could see the sun hit it just right, you could see it.
You pop radiator again?
I don't know. It's still there looking nice.
I think it's just coming all over coming right out of the water pump. Looks like it's cracked. The whole housing's cracked. Just what we need. Well, we're about halfway down the mountain. Is it the housing? I can tell. Oh, what a nightmare. For the first time in history, it's not our fault. We're pretty sure we've got a defective water pump. It's spraying right out of the housing. It's not overheating right now. It's just steaming because it's spraying it out. We're gonna get down as far as we can down this mountain so that if we do have to pull it, it's not that far.
Does that mean I get my spacers back? All the nuts?
Maybe. All right. Oh. Well, that makes sense. I lost power steering.
Is the belt? Is
Belt's
that
sitting there.
pulley?
Hold on, let me
kicked in?
see. Water pump's broke. Look at that.
What's causing that?
How tight do you have the alternator?
The alternator's tight.
And the fan could be messed up. Fan could be just completely out of balance. It's gotta be. We lost the belt. At this point, it doesn't even matter. Getting home is what matters.
Okay, we're still going. At this point, I don't even think he cares if it gets so hot that it locks up. Same issue 2 times in a row. We really don't want to come back up after it again. Spend a Saturday to do it because it's a Friday. So I think he's just gonna go until he can't go no more, and then from there we'll pull. Okay, so we've made it down the mountain. It looks like Robby's just coasting. So maybe he's letting the motor cool down a little bit, or maybe he's waiting for us to catch up. Then we can pull him back. We'll find out here in a second when we get up to him.
but it's a big step was to get out off the mountain, and we conquered it. Now the other big step is to get the rest of the way to the shop. We just hooked up to the trekker, and we're gonna pull it back with the trekker to save the motor. So we don't know how long it is until we get the 12 valve for it.
All right, so we made it back to the shop, barely. We ended up having to get towed about a half a mile. The old gal's got a water pump that's literally ready to fall out. So something's out of balance. We're gonna get that figured out, but that's not for today. As always, we appreciate you. If you enjoyed this video, go check out this one.
I can't see anything.
Wow, good job. It's like a spider. Psh.